Need a wired network outlet where there isn't one? Is Wi-Fi just really not working for you? Stay tuned and I'm going to show you an expandable solution, and it couldn't be any easier. Hi, this is Ron Nutter with another edition of TechBytes with Ron Nutter product reviews. Today we're looking at the TP-Link AV1000 Powerline Ethernet adapter kit. Ooh, that was a mouthful. And 3 things you need to know about this. If you get value from this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I'd really appreciate it. Please look in the description for the URL to use to purchase this item. Thing number 1, this is an economical way to extend the network using the AC wiring in your house. Beats having to pay somebody to run the wiring and try to bury it in the wall, and usually they have to go into the ceiling, but trust me, if you can do it with this, then you're good to go. Thing number 2, this can be either point to point, which is how you'll get it when you get the initial kit, and you'll buy it with 2 adapters that plug into the wall. They'll have an RJ45 on the bottom, and they have to plug right into an outlet. Not a big deal. They also need to be from the same manufacturer, because even though there is a standard, just get them from the same company, even if it's a few dollars more versus doing in mix and match. It's going to make the troubleshooting a lot easier. These can also be multi-point, and this is something I'm going to cover in the course of this video, and it really couldn't be any easier. You just get one of your new Ethernet over Powerline adapters and get it as close as you can to one of the existing adapters that's already up and running when you get ready to expand. Then you'll press the pairing button that's to the side of the RJ45 on the newest adapter. Make sure it's got to be plugged in when you do this or it doesn't work. The next step will be to press the pairing button on one of the Ethernet over Powerline adapters that you've already got. Give it about 10-15 seconds. It might take a little bit longer, just depends on what's going on. And then once you see all the lights come up on the newest adapter, then you're good to go. Then all you do is plug something in, verify you got an address. As our friends across the pond would say, Bob's your uncle. Thing number 3, I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, it must be plugged directly into a wall outlet. You can't put it on a surge protector, even though that's probably going to be my first inclination, because some of the electronics in the surge protector will actually block some, if not all, the signaling. It might work, but the performance is going to suck. That's why this kind of adapter is good, because you can plug into the wall and then you can plug the surge protector into it. There's nothing saying that won't work. In fact, that's how I've got mine running, and it just seems to be just ready to go. Thing number 4, and this is a bonus item, the speed received from the Ethernet over Powerline adapters will be dependent on a couple of things. The condition of the outlets, as far as how new they are, and if you see some evidence of where there's been corrosion or arcing, you might want to get those replaced, because that's going to impact or potentially could significantly impact the results you get with going to Ethernet over Powerline. I'd not do that first thing. First, get to you using it. And the other thing is your house wiring. Depending on the age of your house, that might impact it. I say might because your mileage may vary, so just kind of be prepared for doing some troubleshooting. If you can, and it's not always possible, but if you can have the Ethernet over Powerline adapters on the same circuit. Now that's easier said than done. In fact, if they're on the same circuit, well, depending on how the house is wired, you could run a network cable across the floor or tack it into the baseboard, and that might even be a little bit simpler. If you have to cross breakers, look at where the breakers are in the panel, and maybe you can finesse it so that you've got one breaker no more than a couple of breakers away from another. That may not make any difference. Again, you're going to need to do some troubleshooting with iPerf and something else. There's some other utilities out there. As I mentioned earlier, you can try and install a newer outlet. If the Ethernet over Powerline adapters are plugged in, you may need to look at newer circuit breakers. Circuit breakers do wear out. That may impact the speed you get. So it's all a process of getting it up and running, and you may need to do a little bit of troubleshooting, but nothing you can't handle. So take a look at this and think about getting one today. If you get value from this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I'd really appreciate it. Please look in the description for the URL to use to purchase this item when you're ready. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.